Alright, hello again everyone. Ako and Hua are here. Welcome to week 6 of school, week 2 of the lockdown. Ako is our learning objective, so that's how to write the equation of a parabolic graph in x-intercept form and vertex form. And our Hua, our success criteria, is to complete those pages in the book. So hopefully this video will get you started. I've got 3 questions I'm going to walk through with you. Let's get my pen. So here's question 1. First we have to mark all the integral points. What's an integral point? It's any point that crosses the x and y grid. So these points here, we say they're all integral. And I'm probably missing a couple. I think those two. Alright. X-intercepts. So let's find them. Where are our x-intercepts? They're where they cross the x-axis. So it's that point there and that point there. They're crossing at 4 and -1 respectively. And just to emphasize the point there, pun not intended, the point there is 0, 4. So technically, that's the point where it crosses the x-axis. Anyways, it crosses at 4 and -1, so our equation... Here's our equation sort of pre-filled up for us. Must be y equals a x minus 4 x plus 1. It's going to be the opposite of what you think it is. So it's -4 and +1. So we have our equation, we just don't know our a. So that's our missing part. That's the scale factor. So that tells you how skinny or wide the graph is. So to find the a, we chuck in another point. You can choose any point. I'm going to choose this point here because the math's going to be easier. So what's that point there? That point is x. X is 0. And y is -4. So I'll choose that point. 0, -4. So I change all the x's to 0s and all the y's to -4s. So I'm going to write the exact same equation, but just changing the x's and y's. X turns to 0, so 0 -4. 0 plus 1. Remember, there's a little times in between all of these terms. So we're multiplying them all together. Let's simplify the right side. So what's all this stuff become? So 0 minus 1 is... Sorry, 0 minus 4 is just -4. And 0 plus 1 is just 1. So here we have -4 times 1. Which is -4. So -4 equals -4a. Therefore, we have a equaling 1 because -4 times 1 is -4. So we can change that a there to a 1. So y equals 1, x -4, x plus 1, and we're done. Although we actually prefer you not to put the 1 in there, so the equation's just x -4, x plus 1. Okay, that's question 1 done. Question 6 now. No help here. Let's solve it. So integral points. Any point that could be useful. You can see where it crosses. This is so resolution, it's hard to see. I apologize. But I think those are the ones we should care about. So those points there. Where does it cross the x-axis? Well, first off, what's our equation? It's going to be this. This is called the x-intercept form of the equation. Because we use it when we know the x-intercepts, which we do. So here's our equation. Our x-intercepts are 0 and -9. So I can change those p and q's to 0 and 9. So a, x, plus or minus 0, doesn't matter. X, is it minus or positive? So -9 there, so it must be a positive 9. X plus 9. X minus 0, we can simplify that. That's just x, right? If you minus 0 from anything, it's just itself. So it's a times x plus 9. All right. What's our next step? We have to chuck in any other point. So choose a point. Doesn't matter. Although sometimes the math will be easier for some points than others. You will just learn that by experience. I'm going to choose that point there. So that point there is... the x value is -5, and the y value is +5. I think. Let me just check that. The resolution's quite low, so -5, +5. Yep. All right. So change the y here to a to a +5 because we have x, y coordinates. So the y becomes +5, and the x becomes -5, and that also, x also becomes -5. Okay, start simplifying all of this. So what's all that? So that's -5 times my -5 plus 9. That's got to be 4. So it's -5 times 4, which is 20. So 5 equals 20a. So what does that mean a is? We divide both sides by 20 to find a. And we're left with a equals 5/20, which is a quarter. So a is a quarter. So knowing all of that, whoops, that's not very nice. Knowing all of that, we can chuck it into our equation. Final equation, so y equals a quarter. So a is a quarter now. A quarter times x times x plus 9. To 9. Okay, so that's when you have the intercept form of the equation. So we've done that part of the arco. Now let's do the vertex form. So that's page 49 and 50. The vertex form is this. It's this. Specifically, it's this. So y equals a x plus or minus b squared plus or minus c. That's the vertex form. You use that when? You use it when you know the vertex. So here we know the vertex. We also know the x-intercept, so that form also works as well. But I suppose question 1 here, they just want to make it easy for you, so you can use the vertex. The vertex, all right. So what's the idea with this equation? Well, any normal parabola is like that. And those b's and c's here will tell you how much it has moved left, right, up, or down from its original starting place. So this graph has moved 2 to the right and 1 down. So I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's mark all the integral points first. So it's all those points that cross the grid. Those ones are the ones that matter. And your turning point, also known as your vertex, moves 2 units to the right. So 2 units to the right. Okay, that's what we did there. So is that going to be +2 or -2 in the brackets? It's -2. Every time it's a horizontal movement, it's the opposite of what you think it is. And how much has it moved down? It moved down by 1. So it's going to be x minus 2 squared minus 1. Now you can substitute any point here, any integral point you found. You can choose that one or that one. You can't choose that one, actually. I lied. You can't choose that one. You can try it, see what happens. Because it's the vertex, we've already used it. You can use that one or that one. The book here has made it easy for you. They've told you what to do. So they just say chuck in the y-intercept. Because the math will come out easier if you use that. Let's see how. So what is the y-intercept here? The y-intercept here is x is 0, and y is 2. So 0, 2. Sorry, 0, 0, 3. 3. So I chuck this point into the equation I have here. So y becomes 3. And a, we leave it alone. X becomes 0. Let's simplify it. So what is 0 minus 2 squared? So that's the same as minus 2 squared, which is minus 2 times minus 2, which is 4. So we have 3 equals 4a minus 1. Alright, so let's move that minus 1 by plusing 1 on both sides. So 4 equals 4a, which means that a equals, ding, 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 1. So a is 1. Alright, almost done. Grab your original equation. I just don't have any room here. I suppose I could make room. And y equals, change the a to a 1 now, y equals 1. X minus 2 squared minus 1. And we don't need that 1 because in algebra, if you have 1 of anything, you just say the thing. Instead of saying 1 apple, just say I have an apple. So y equals x minus 2 squared minus 1. All right. You should now be able to finish pages 45 to 50 in the workbook. Thank you.